O my Lord Jesus Christ, prostrate in your divine presence, I implore your most loving heart to assist me as I meditate on the 24 hours of your most sorrowful passion. In your passion, your love drove you to suffer so much in your adorable body and in your most holy soul unto death on the cross. I implore your help, your grace, and your love to have profound compassion and a profound understanding of your sufferings as I meditate on this hour. I offer you my desire to meditate on all the hours, even on those I cannot observe. Please accept my desire to meditate on all the hours, even when I must sleep or tend to my other duties. O merciful Lord, grant that my loving desire united to you may bring your holy blessings down upon us all. I give you thanks, O Jesus, for calling me into union with you by means of prayer. To glorify you, I unite myself with your thoughts, with your tongue, and with your heart, and with these I intend to pray. I fuse myself in your will and in your love, and extending my arms to embrace you, I place my head upon your heart and begin. The Crucifixion of our Lord, the 11 a.m. hour. Jesus, my love, you are already despoiled of your garments. Your most sacred body is so lacerated that you resemble that of a fleeced lamb. I see you tremble as your enemies prepare the cross. And you, unable to stand any longer, fall to the ground on this mount. My good Jesus and my all, my heart breaks with sorrow in seeing you bent over and dripping blood from head to toe, from every part of your most sacred body. Your enemies are tired, but not satiated in tormenting you. To your unspeakable pain, in despoiling you, they tear the crown of thorns off your head and drive it into you again, creating new and more painful wounds that cause you unheard of convulsions. In this third crowning of thorns, you offer reparation for the obstinacy of souls, and for their obstinacy in sin, especially the sin of pride. Jesus, if love had not compelled you to endure yet more torments, you would certainly have died from the harrowing sorrow you suffered in this third crowning of thorns. But now, I see that you can no longer endure this sorrow, and with your eyes covered with blood, you look to see if at least one individual would come close to you to sustain you in so much suffering from such overwhelming grief. My sweet and good Jesus, my dear life, you are not alone here as you were last night. Your sorrowful mother is here, whose heart, pierced with intense sorrow, suffers as many deaths as there are pains you endure. There is also your faithful disciple John, who is speechless with sorrow at the sight of your passion. This is the Mount of Lovers, and you should not be alone. Tell me, my love, who do you want to sustain you in so much sorrow? O Please let me approach you, I, who stand more in need of your grace than all others. Dear Mother, and those of you on this holy mountain, make room for me. And here I am, O Jesus, I come to you. I hug you and bid you lean your head on my shoulder, that I may experience the sharp piercings of your thorns in my head. I not only desire to feel your thorns, but to cleanse all of my thoughts with your precious blood that flows from your head, so that they may remain in the continuous act of offering you reparation for all the offenses souls cause you with their thoughts. Jesus, my love, hug me tightly. I desire to kiss one by one the drops of blood which drip down your most sacred face, and I beseech you to make each one of these drops a light to the minds of all souls, so that no one may offend you with evil thoughts. Beloved Jesus, you look at the cross that your enemies are preparing for you. You hear the blows of the hammers of your executioners, who prepare the holes into which they will drive the nails. Your heart beats more and more vehemently and contracts with exultation, as you yearn to lay yourself upon this bed of pain and seal with your death the salvation of our souls. And I hear you say, Beloved cross, my love, my precious bed, you were my martyrdom in life, and now you are my rest. Please, O cross, receive me into your arms without delay. I eagerly await you, Holy Cross. Through you, I will accomplish all. O cross, hurry. Fulfill my ardent desire of offering up my life for souls. I wish to seal their redemption by means of you, O cross. Oh, delay no longer, as I earnestly long to extend myself upon you, to open the gates of heaven to all my children and close hell. O cross, it is true that you are my battle, but you are also my victory and my complete triumph. Through you, I will bestow upon my children abundant treasures, victories, triumphs, and crowns. Who can recount all the words my sweet Jesus says to the cross? As he expresses his love to the cross, his enemies command him to extend himself on it, and promptly he obeys to make reparation for our disobedience. My love, before you extend yourself on the cross, allow me to press you more tightly to my heart and kiss you. Listen to me, O Jesus. I do not want to leave you. I want to extend myself on the cross and be nailed to it with you. For true love tolerates no separation. Forgive the boldness of my love, but allow me to be crucified with you. After all, my tender love, I am not the only one to ask this of you, but your sorrowful mother, inseparable Magdalene, and faithful John ask it as well. They all tell you that it would be more bearable to be nailed with you to your cross than to see you crucified alone. Therefore, with you I offer myself to the eternal Father, assimilated to your will, to your heart, to your reparations, and to all of your sorrows. Oh, it seems as if my sweet Jesus says to me, My child, you have anticipated my love. This is my will, that all those who love me should be crucified with me. Oh yes, come and extend yourself upon the cross with me, and I will give you life in exchange for my life. I will always regard you as the beloved of my heart. Now you extend yourself on the cross, looking with so much love and sweetness at your executioners, as though extending to them a sweet invitation to hasten your crucifixion, who hold in their hands the nails and hammers to crucify you. And although feeling repugnance, with inhuman fury they grab your right hand, hold the nail on your palm, and with blows of the hammer drive it through to the opposite side of the cross. Oh my Jesus, the pain you feel is so overwhelming that you shudder. The light of your beautiful eyes is eclipsed, and your most sacred face, though bruised and bleeding, turns pale. I kiss your blessed right hand, my beloved Jesus, and I unite myself to your passion. I adore you and I thank you for myself and for all. I entreat you in this moment to prevent from eternal damnation as many souls as there are blows that you receive, to wash in the most precious blood of yours as many souls as there are drops of blood you shed. For the sake of the bitter sorrow you endure, I entreat you to open the heavens to all souls and to bless all. May your blessing call all sinners to conversion, and call those separated from your church and unbelievers to the light of faith. O Jesus, my life, after having finished nailing your right hand to the cross with unheard of cruelty, your executioners grab your left hand and make it reach the mark of the hole. With violence they pull it so hard that the joints of your arms and shoulders dislocate. And the pain is so intense it makes your legs contract and convulse. Left hand of my beloved Jesus, I kiss you and I unite myself to your passion. I adore you and I thank you for the blows you receive and for the bitter pains you endure from them driving the nail through your left hand. I ask you in this moment to release many souls from purgatory and take them to heaven. For the blood you shed, I entreat you to extinguish the flames that purge the poor souls. May this blood refresh and cleanse them all, so that purged of all stain, they may be disposed for the beatific vision. My love and my all the sharp pain you suffer when they nailed your left hand, I entreat you to close hell to all souls, and to withhold the lightning rod of divine justice from striking us on account of our sins. O Jesus, let the divine justice be appeased, so that divine chastisements may not be unleashed on earth, but may the treasures of your divine mercy be opened for the betterment of all. Wherefore I entreat you, hold me tightly in your arms. Jesus, it seems as if you are now completely motionless, and that we therefore are at liberty to ask of you whatever we wish. So, I take the liberty to place the world and all human generations in your arms. And I beg you with the voices of your own blood, O my sweet love, to deny no one your forgiveness. But by the merits of your most precious blood, grant salvation to all souls, and do not, O my Jesus, exclude anyone. Jesus, my love, your enemies are not yet satisfied. With diabolical fury, they grab your most sacred feet, tireless and always on the lookout for souls, but that are contracted on account of the pains inflicted on your hands, and they pull them so violently that your knees, your ribs, and all the bones of your chest become dislocated. My good Jesus, my heart can no longer bear this. Your sorrow is so great that it causes your beautiful eyes, eclipsed and covered with blood, to roll back, and your livid lips, bruised and swollen from the blows, contort. The nails tearing at your hands and feet cause your cheeks to grow hollow, your teeth to chatter, your chest to pound feverishly, and your heart breaks. My love, how I would willingly take your place to spare you so much pain. I fuse myself in your limbs to assuage you, kiss you, comfort you, and offer you reparation on behalf of all. Blessed feet of my beloved Jesus, I unite myself to your passion. I kiss you, I adore you, and I thank you. I entreat you for the sake of the most bitter pains you suffer, for the tearing of muscles, ligaments, and nerves, from the dislocation of all of your bones, and for the blood you shed to enclose all souls in your most sacred wounds. Do not refuse anyone, O Jesus. May your nails pierce the powers of our soul, so that they may never be separated from you. May they pierce our hearts, so that they may always adhere to you alone. May they pierce all of our emotions, so that they may experience no pleasure apart from you. O my crucified Jesus, I see you completely entrenched and bathed in an ocean of blood. The blood that flows from you pleads solely for souls. In this blood, I see the vast throng of souls from all centuries. And in such a way, O Jesus, that every single soul appears incorporated within you. And so, by the power of this blood, I entreat you not to allow so much as one soul to ever again flee from you. Sweet Jesus, your enemies finish nailing your feet, and I now approach your heart. I see that while physically you are able to bear no more, your love cries out more loudly. More pains. My beloved Jesus, I embrace your heart. I unite myself to your passion. I kiss you, I adore you, and I thank you for myself and for all souls. I place my head on your heart to feel what you endure in this painful crucifixion. Oh, I hear every blow of the hammer echo in your heart. Your heart is the center of all things. From it your sorrows begin, and in it they end. And if it were not enough for you awaiting the lance to pierce your heart, the flames of your love and the blood that boils within it would have already ruptured your heart and come to an end. These flames beckon souls that love you to find a happy dwelling in your heart. And I, O Jesus, for the sake of your most precious blood, ask you to sanctify souls. Oh, please, do not allow them to ever go out from your heart, but with your grace multiply the vocations of victim souls who may continue your life on earth. You wanted to give a distinct place in your heart to the souls that love you. So I bid you, don't ever let them lose this place. O Jesus, may the flames of your heart set me ablaze and consume me. May your blood embellish me. And may your love keep me always nailed to you with suffering and reparation. My beloved Jesus, the executioners have now nailed your hands and feet to the cross, and turning it over in order to bang and bend the nails on the other side, they force your adorable face to touch the ground soaked with your own blood. And you with your divine lips kiss the ground. With this kiss, O my sweet love, you intend to kiss all souls. Bind them to your love and seal their salvation. O Jesus, let me take your place, so that I may prevent your most sacred body, completely immersed in your most precious blood, from touching the ground. Let me hold you in my arms, and as your enemies bang the nails, may their blows wound me as well, and nail me completely to your love. O my Jesus, as the thorns under the weight of the cross are driven farther into your head, I offer you all of my thoughts so that they may console you like loving kisses and assuage the bitter pains of your thorns. I see that your enemies are not satiated with insulting you and deriding you. I want to comfort your divine gazes with my loving gazes. Your tongue is almost cleaved to the roof of your mouth due to the bitterness of the bile of the human will and the ardent thirst you experience. In order to quench your thirst, O my Jesus, you desire to see all the hearts of souls overflowing with love, but not having them near you causes your love to burn more ardently for them. My sweet love, I intend to send you rivers of love to relieve in some way the bitterness of the bile and your ardent thirst. O my Jesus, I see that with every movement you make, the wounds in your hands tear open more widely, and your sorrows become more intense and overwhelmed. My good, dear Jesus, to relieve and comfort this sorrow of yours, I offer you the holy works of all souls. O my Jesus, how much you suffer in your most sacred feet. It seems that all the movements of your most sacred body reverberate in them, and nobody is near you to sustain you in order to somehow assuage the bitterness of your sorrows. My most sweet life, I desire to gather together the steps of the souls of all generations, past, present, and future, and redirect them all to you, so that they may come to console you in your harsh pains. My dear Jesus, alas, how tortured your poor heart is. How may I comfort so much sorrow? I will diffuse myself in you. I will place my heart in your heart, and my desires in your ardent desires, so that the evil desires of all souls may be destroyed. I diffuse my love in your love, so that by means of the fire of your love, the heart of all souls may be set ablaze, and all profane love vanquished. Your most sacred heart will be comforted. From now on, I promise you, O Jesus, always to remain nailed to your most loving heart with the nails of your desires, of your love, and of your will. O my Jesus, crucified one, crucify me with you and in you. Do not allow me, however slightly, to free myself from these nails of yours. May I always be nailed together with you to love you, offer you reparation on behalf of all, and relieve the pain that souls cause you with their sins. My good Jesus, I see that your enemies lift the heavy wood of the cross, and then they let it drop into the hole they have prepared in advance. And you, my sweet love, remain suspended between heaven and earth. In this solemn moment, you turn to the Father, and with a weak and feeble voice say, Holy Father, here I am, laden with all the sins of the world. There is not one sin that has not been unleashed on me. Do not unleash the scourge of your divine justice upon mankind any longer, but upon me, your Son. O Father, allow me to bind all souls to this cross and plead forgiveness on their behalf with the voice of my blood and my wounds. O Father, do you not see to what a sorrowful state I am reduced? By this cross and by virtue of my pains, grant to all the grace of true conversion, peace, forgiveness, and holiness. My crucified love, I too want to accompany you to the throne of the Eternal One, and along with you disarm the divine justice. I make your most sacred humanity my own, and united with you and with your will, I wish to do whatever you do. May my thoughts flow in your thoughts. May my will, desires, and love flow in your will, desires, and love. May my heartbeats flow in your heart. May my being flow in you. For by this means nothing you do will escape me, and in everything you do I shall unite my act to your act, and my word to your word. And you, my crucified and good Jesus, in seeing the Father's divine justice irritated with his creatures, prostrate yourself before him, and enclose them all within your most sacred humanity in order to safeguard them. In this way, the Father sees all creatures in you, and out of love for you, refrains from casting them out of his sight. And if the Father looks at his creatures with disdain, it is because so many of them have disfigured the beautiful image in which he made them. Such creatures nurture no thought other than that of offending him. With their intelligence that should have been used to understand him, they have instead made of it a waste bin in which they accumulate sin. O my Jesus, in order to appease the Father, you ask him to behold your most sacred head pierced with thorns and overwhelmed with atrocious convulsions. Through your crown of thorns you keep nailed to your mind the intelligence of all souls, and to every mind you offer yourself up in expiation to satisfy the divine justice. Oh, how these thorns act as pious voices before the divine majesty to extend pardon to the evil thoughts of all souls. My Jesus, my thoughts are one with yours. Therefore with you I pray, implore, entreat pardon, and offer reparation for the divine majesty for all the evil souls commit through the use of their intelligence. Allow me to take your thorns with your own intelligence. Approach all souls to bind your intelligence to theirs. With the sanctity of your intelligence, I wish to restore their intelligence to its original state, and when it emerged from your creative hands. With the sanctity of your thoughts, I reorder all evil thoughts of souls in you, and with your thorns pierced the minds of all souls to restore to them their dominion and rule. O Jesus, may you alone be the master of the thoughts and affections of every soul. May you sustain all things so that the face of the earth, despite its horrific and frightful appearance, may change. But the Divine Father remains irritated, for he sees nearly all of his poor children steeped in sins and such an appalling nature as to nauseate all of heaven. How the Divine Spirit is offended in almost no longer recognizing in the poor creature the work of his most sacred hands. On the contrary, his creatures appear like many monsters, occupying the earth that draw down the Father's wrathful gaze. And you, O Jesus, wishing to appease the Father, seek to soften his heart by uniting your eyes with his, so as to make him see poor mankind through your compassionate gaze. And thus you show him your eyes covered with blood and filled with tears. Before the Father's divine majesty you weep, over and over again, to move him to compassion over the plight of so many unhappy souls. And I hear your voice that says, My Father, it is true that these ungrateful souls continue to stain themselves with more sins and no longer merit your fatherly gaze. But look at me, O Father. Before you I weep so much as to form a bath of tears and blood, to cleanse them of the appalling sins with which they have covered themselves. My Father, do you perhaps wish to reject me? No, you cannot, as I am your Son, and as your Son I am the head of all souls, and they are my members. Let us save them, Father. Let us save them. My Jesus, unparalleled love, I wish to weep with your eyes before the supreme majesty for the loss of so many misfortunate souls. Let me take your tears and your own loving gaze, as they are as one with mine, and let me take them to souls, to move them to compassion out of love for you, and for their own sake I will show them how you weep for them, and that while they stain themselves, you are ready to cleanse them with your tears and blood. In seeing you weep, they will surrender to you. Let me cleanse the filth of all souls with your tears. May your tears descend into their hearts to soften the many souls that are obstinately entrenched in sin and overcome their obstinacy. I wish to make your loving gaze penetrate souls so that they may raise their eyes to heaven, love you, and no longer go astray or offend you. In this way, the Divine Father will no longer be irritated when gazing upon these misfortunate children of His. I see that the Father's wrath is not yet appeased. For despite the Father's bounty that filled the heavens and the earth with so much love, as to bear witness to the love and goodness He nurtures toward His children, so much so that in almost every step action His children make, one witnesses the love and grace of their Father's heart overflowing. His ungrateful children, despite despising this love, refuse to recognize it. On the contrary, His children defy His love by filling the heavens and earth with insults, ridicule, and offenses. As if wanting to destroy the Father's love and set themselves up as an idol in His place, His children trample His love asunder with their sullied feet. All these offenses pierce the heavens and arrive before the throne of the Divine Majesty. Oh, how the Father is irritated in seeing the vile sins of human beings reach the point of insulting and offending Him every which way. But you, O Jesus, always ready to defend us with the enrapturing force of your love, compel the Father to behold your most sacred face. Turned with all of these insults and ridicule, you say to Him, "My Father, do not disdain your poor children. If you are irritated with them, you are irritated with me. Oh, have mercy. I bear all these offenses on my face, to requite you on everyone's behalf. My Father, unleash not your wrath upon these unfortunate souls. They are blind and know not what they do. Take a good look at me, and see how I have been reduced for love of them. If you are not moved to compassion over the wretched state of mankind, may my face be smirched with spittle, covered with blood, bruised and swollen with many afflicted strikes and blows. Soften your heart. Oh, my Father, have mercy. I, who was the most radiant of all, am now so disfigured that I am no longer recognizable. I am the most degraded of all. At all costs, I wish to save the poor human creature. My Jesus, is such love possible? Since I want to follow you in everything, let me have at my disposal your most sacred face, so that I may show it, and be even moved to compassion over poor sinners, over poor mankind who is already dying under the scourge of the divine justice. Let me go to souls and show them your face, ever so disfigured for love of them, to move them to compassion out of love for you and for their own sake. With the light of your face and with the enrapturing force of your love, may I make them understand who you are and who they are, as they dare to offend you. In this way, their souls, leading a life dead to grace, will raise up out of their many sins and prostrate themselves before you in an act of adoration and glory. My adorable and crucified Jesus, souls continue to irritate the divine justice. From their mouths resounds the echo of horrendous blasphemies, voices of condemnations and curses, evil conversations, plotting among one another, of massacres and of bloodsheds. For all these voices deafen the earth and pierce the heavens, offending God's divine ears, who, wearied with the venomous echoes of souls, wishes to put an end to them by casting them far from his sight. For all such venomous voices condemn and cry out for justice and vengeance against the very souls who voice them. Oh, how the divine justice feels compelled to shower down divine chastisements. Oh, how these many horrendous blasphemies ignite God's wrath. But you, O my Jesus, loving us with the greatest love, confront all of these murderous voices with your omnipotent and creative voice, and reunite them in your voice. You make your sweetest voice of blessings, praise, and supplications for mercy, gratitude, and love on behalf of unhappy souls reach your Father's ears to refresh him from the offenses they sent him. To appease the Father even more, you show him your most sacred mouth and say, My Father, turn to me, behold your Son. Do not listen to the voices of these souls, but listen to my voice. I am the one who offers satisfaction for all. Therefore I entreat you to look at souls in and through me. If you do not look at them through me, what will become of them? They are weak, ignorant, intent on nothing but evil, and filled with all misery. But have mercy. Have mercy on these unhappy souls. I will answer for them with my tongue embittered with bile, consumed with thirst, and parched and burnt with love. My embittered Jesus, my voice and yours wants to face all these offenses. Let me go to all the souls with your tongue and your lips, and touching their tongue to yours, make them taste the bitterness of your tongue, so that, in the act of wanting to offend you through blasphemy, if not for at least love, for the bitterness they taste, they will desist from blaspheming. Let me touch their lips to yours and make them feel on their lips the fire of sin. And let me make your omnipotent voice resound in each of their hearts, so that the current of evil voices may stop, and all human voices may convert into voices of blessings and praise. Crucified Jesus, souls still refuse to surrender to you, despite your immense sorrow and love. Instead, they despise you and add insult to injury by committing enormous sacrileges, murders, suicides, crimes, cruel acts, deceptions, divisions, and betrayals. Oh, all of these evil works weigh so heavily on the arms of your Heavenly Father that, unable to sustain their weight, His arms are on the verge of falling to unleash fury and destruction across the earth. And you, O my Jesus, to snatch souls from the divine wrath, and for fear of seeing them destroyed, stretch out your arms to your Father to help them sustain the weight of such evil works. And you prevent and impede the divine justice from taking its course. To move the Father to compassion for the wretched state of mankind, and to soften his heart, you say to him with the most moving voice, "My Father, look at these souls, look at these hands rent open, and these nails that both pierce and transfix them to the evil work of all souls. Oh, in these hands I feel all the convulsions caused by evil works. Oh, Father, are you not satisfied with my sorrows? Am I perhaps not able to offer you worthy satisfaction? These dislocated arms of mine will always be chains to embrace poor souls so tightly that they may not escape me. My Father, apart from those who forcefully struggle to break free from my grasp, these arms of mine will be loving chains that bind you and prevent you from casting these poor souls from your sight. What is more, I shall continue to draw souls to you, so that you may shower them with your grace and mercy. O my Jesus, your love is a sweet enchantment for me. It compels me to do what you do. So, with you and at the cost of any pain, I want to prevent the divine justice from unleashing itself on poor mankind. With the blood that pours forth from your hands, I wish to extinguish the fire of sin that arouses God's justice and to calm its fury. To move the Father to have compassion on his own children, allow me to place in your arms the sorrows and sufferings of all creatures, the groans of many souls who are poor and wounded, and the many hearts that are grieving and oppressed. Allow me to go to all the souls and place them in your arms so that all of them may return to your heart. With the power of your creative hands, allow me to stop the current of so many evil works and to make all desist from doing evil. Jesus, my crucified love, souls are not yet satisfied with offending you, but seek to drink to the very dregs all the filth of sin, whereby they run almost wildly along the path of evil. They go from one sin to the next, they disobey all of your laws, and denying you, they rebel almost against you. And, as if out of spite, these souls wish to go to hell. Oh, how the Supreme Majesty becomes indignant, and you, O my Jesus, triumphing over all, even over the obstinacy of souls, in order to appease the Divine Father, show him your most sacred humanity in its entirety. Lacerated, dislocated, and tortured in every horrible way, You show him your most sacred feet, pierced and contorted under the weight of convulsions. With the most moving voice that seeks to win souls over with love and sorrow, and to triumph over the Father's heart, as if in the act of breathing your last you say, "My Father, look at me. From top to bottom, there is not one part of me that is not bruised and battered. Not one single part of my body has been spared, whereby I might offer it up to receive yet more wounds and procure more sufferings. If you are not appeased at this moving sight of love and sorrow, who will appease you? O souls, if you do not surrender to so much love, what hope is there for you to convert? My blood and wounds will always be voices that, constantly calling from heaven to earth the grace of repentance, forgiveness, and compassion for poor humanity. O my Jesus, I see you in excruciating pain to appease the Father and win souls over. Allow me to assume your most sacred feet, and with them make my rounds throughout creation to bind their steps to your feet, so that as souls choose to take the path of evil, they may feel the bond you establish with them and turn away from the evil they have chosen. O, with your feet, grant that they may turn back from the path of evil. Place them on the path of righteousness. Make them docile to your law, and with your nails close off hell to them, so that no one may end up there. O my Jesus, crucified love, I see that you are unable to physically endure any more as you strain and suffer terribly on the cross. Your bones continually grind together, such that with each slightest movement you make, they become more and more disjointed. Your flesh tears away piece by piece. Your hardened thirst consumes you. Your embittered, painful, and loving interior sorrows impair your breathing. Human ingratitude, acting as many of the martyrdoms you experience, confronts you and overwhelms you like a mighty wave to the core of your pierced heart. All these crush you so much that your most sacred humanity, unable to bear the weight of so many martyrdoms, is about to succumb. Whence, burning with love and the desire to suffer yet more for souls, you cry out to the Father for mercy and help. Crucify Jesus. Is it possible that you, who rule everything and give life to all, ask for help? Oh, how I desire to fuse myself in each drop of your most precious blood, to shed for you my own blood, in order to mend each one of your wounds, and lessen and assuage the piercings of each thorn. I desire to fuse myself in each interior pain of your heart to relieve your intense agony. I long to offer you life for life, and if it were possible, remove you from the cross and take your place. And yet, I see that I am nothing and can do nothing. I am too insignificant. Therefore, give me your own being, Jesus. I will take up life in you, and you in turn. In you, I will offer you to yourself. In this way you will satisfy my yearnings. Crushed Jesus, I see that your most sacred humanity is coming to an end. But you, O my Jesus, triumphing over all, defend these souls too. And out of the immense love of your heart, form a wall to block the waves of scorn and thorns they send you. And to appease your Father, you say to him, my Father, look at this heart of mine. May all these pains satisfy you on behalf of souls. If up till now I have offered you all the sufferings of my humanity to appease your justice and to make your triumphant mercy shower down on all souls, I now present to you this heart of mine, bruised, beaten, and broken, under the weight of consecrated souls gone astray. My Father, this is the heart that has loved you with an infinite love, always consuming with love for my brothers itself, who are your children in me. This is the generous heart that has longed to suffer and offer you complete satisfaction for all sins of mankind. Have pity on its desolation, on the continuous blows it receives, on its never-ending heartache, and on its anguish and sadness in the face of death. O my Father, has there perhaps been one single heartbeat of mine that did not always seek out your glory for the salvation of my brothers, and at the cost of my pains and blood? Were these brothers of mine not born from this heart of mine? Has this ever so oppressed heart of mine not poured out ardent supplications, groans, and sighs? Have I not wept and cried out for mercy in your presence for 34 years? O Father, you have always heard my prayers an infinite number of times, granting me an infinite number of souls. And I give you infinite thanks. But Father, how is it possible for the sorrows in my heart to be assuaged when so much as one soul escapes our love? Our love for one soul alone is as great as our love for all souls combined. Must it be said that I breathed my last breath on the cross when even souls consecrated to us wretchedly perish before our eyes? I am already drowning in a sea of anguish on account of the iniquity and eternal loss of Judas, who remained obstinate and ungrateful, and who rejected all of my love and its docile ways. I blessed him so much to the point of ordaining him a priest and a bishop like my other apostles. O Father, let this abyss of my sorrows be enough. Let what I see be enough. That is, souls chosen by us and of the same consecrated calling, choosing to follow Judas along similar paths. Help me, O Father, I beseech you. I cannot bear all this sorrow. Does not one fiber in my heart surpass in sorrow all the other pains of the divine body combined, this divine body of mine? Does not the blood from my heart pour out in greater abundance than all the blood that pours out of my wounds? My heart breaks from love and sorrow. Have mercy, Father. Have mercy not on me, but on all souls. For whom I long to suffer to infinity. Especially those who are called either to be my spouse or to be my priests. Listen, O Father, my heart with its fiery heartbeats makes me feel like I am dying, and with cries of supplication says, for the sake of the many sorrows I endure, I implore efficacious grace for their repentance and true conversion for all these unhappy souls. Let not one of them escape us. I thirst, Father, I thirst for all souls, but especially for these. I thirst for more suffering for the sake of each one of these souls. My Father, I have always done your will. Now, for love of me, your most beloved Son, in whom you are well pleased, grant that this will of mine, which is also your will, be perfectly accomplished.